like letting these people know how this works. And so why was that so important for you to like really push for our voices to be heard?
Once again, I was thrown into a situation where I didn't know what I was coming into. One of our local city leaders, former educator, Board of Education member at large, Ms. Geraldine Hutley,
Mama Hutley, yes,
called me and told me she needed me to come to that meeting. And so I got there not knowing anything about what the meeting was about. I must remind you, I just recently moved back to Albany a few years ago, so I'm still getting acclimated to everything that's going on. Yeah, so that was one of the first big issues that I was involved in. And so when I started hearing the rhetoric going around the room, I cannot sit in a environment and hear mistruths told and not speak up on it, because then I placate the ignorance. I cannot have someone thinking I'm ignorant.
And then you sign on.
And
Silence
I sign
is
on.
consent.
Silent is consent. And so I was forced to open my mouth and speak truths, which fortunately had an impact.
Yeah, it had a big impact. And it definitely set the tone for other people speaking up and telling the truth. And in one of those meetings, I will never forget, because it had me so angry, the local mayor decided he wanted to kind of share with everyone that if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a plan, as if we should be just ever so grateful to him for allowing us to have a plan in the first place. And so that was when I spoke up and let him know, no, had it been for you, you would have demolished this place by now.
Absolutely.
And it was the will of the people that made sure we're where we are today. So it's so important that in this era of them wanting to erase our history and CRT, that we continue to push to make sure the stories are being told accurately, and that we are shaping the narrative for our people.
Absolutely. One of the things that stood out to me was in that first meeting, it was very charged. It was very heated emotionally, and that was my first meeting there. So I later understood that's because of the way things have gone in the past. And I totally understood it. And so as a communications expert with a degree in communications from Howard University,
sip on that,
I took it upon myself to try to explain to the attendees that were not of color what was happening.
Right.
They couldn't understand why people were upset and angry and passionate.
Because remember, there was a black guy that was like, why are y'all being, what did he say, like angry?
He actually had the audacity to call one of the elder black gentlemen in the room, an angry black man, and that's when I interjected and told him that's what we're not going to do.
Right.
Allow you to come in here as an Uncle Remus
and use the tools of white supremacy
that white supremacists have used to put us in a position of not having power, and then the disrespect, not only that you said, but being as young as you are saying it to an elder.
Right.
So he sat down and he knew that he was wrong.
Had to put him in check.
The main thing was when I don't even remember who it was, and not knowing people often helps you handle people like they needed to be. You don't think about titles.
Right.
You just do what needs to be done.
Right.
And one of the gentlemen in the room, white, decided that he wanted to try to explain to me what I was explaining to him about communication. Now, I remember telling him, no. What I don't need is for you to articulate for me my experience. And that end lays part of the problem. I need you to listen and learn what you don't know.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you just have to let people know you don't know everything. I don't know everything, but having a ability to be humble allows you to hear others' story, and it allows for empathy to grow. You can't be empathetic without humility.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, this has been an amazing conversation. You and I have so much work to do together.
Yes, we do.
This is just the beginning. Harlem has just started. They just released the plan. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. I haven't looked at it yet. But they've just finally released the plan that we all had input on. And so the next phase, we're going to see what happens from here. We're going to be a part of this. We're going to keep our community informed about what's happening in this area. All eyes are on Harlem right now. We just want to make sure that Harlem is preserved, the history is preserved for our people in this community. And also, y'all, come out to the Vicks Estate Farm Fishery.
Please do.
This is such I don't want to say magical, but it really does bring you back to Southern living, and it's Black Southern living, right? So it's like you get to come out here and just relax, be amongst the trees, the pecan trees. Y'all see our pecans here that were sourced right here on the farm. And you just mentioned you all have a pecan orchard.
Yeah, we do. My great-grandfather, Clarence Bennett, actually purchased about 30 acres of land back in the 30s.
Wow.
And in that land, he was able to parcel it out to other family members, the Clintons and the Vicks. And so I inherited land from my grandmother. That was her father.
Wow.
And so we have land that we still farm today with pecans. It's all lived on by family. So I grew up next door to my paternal grandmother.
Wow.
Cousins and uncles around the street down the corner, all on the same family land. So we still own that.
So powerful, y'all. I cannot. God ain't making new land. So
No.
you need to be out here buying land, using this land. Y'all see how high these eggs are, right?
Yes.
Using this land to be able to live off of the land, be able to source pecans. This is an industry. You make money off of this, right? And so these are ways that we need to, as Black people, reclaim our land, reclaim our history, and just really connect to what is rightfully ours.
Absolutely.
So you have any final words for our podcast guests? We don't sip this lemonade, y'all. We have been
is-
shady.
and
This
it
ain't
is
as
very
shady as
good.
it is delicious.
Yeah.
And I got to give a shout out to No Shade Lemonade. You can follow her and find her on IG and Facebook. Y'all, she has, like, you see the classic and the strawberry lemonade. They have blue raspberry, mango, black cherry, pina colada, peach mango. They have it all, every flavor you can ask for. And I think they sell this at Mike's Country Store. So if you want to go pick up a bottle of some No Shade lemonade, if you feel a little shady, this is what you need to be sipping on. This is what we sip on at A New South is Rising podcast. So what are some closing words? What do you want people to know?
Closing words. I definitely want people to be conscious of the times in which we live.
Yes.
I need people to slow down. You said about things hiding in plain sight. A lot of times it's because we're so busy and self-consumed that we miss the signs.
And they take advantage
And
of
they
that.
take advantage, and we get taken advantage of by just the universe itself. We
Right.
have to slow down and listen to what's most important, which starts with health. You will always have an internal voice that tells you what you need to do if you're in
If
tune
you
enough to
listen
listen.
to it,
And so
yes.
that's where I'm working toward now, getting more in tune with that internal voice.
So if you need to get in tune with your internal voice, this is the place to be. The Vicks Farms, Estate Farms and Fisheries.
Yes.
It's a beautiful place to come to reconnect, to quiet your soul, and to
Fill your bellies.
fill your bellies with some delicious, y'all. This brother here can cook. My son was supposed to be out here. He was begging to come back to get some of his delicious cooking. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being on our first
Thank
episode,
you.
our first
This
podcast.
is a blessing.
And to be able to give folks the answer and let them know A New South is rising. So again, my name is Sherrell Byrd. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on our next episode.